Hi everybody and welcome back to part 2 of double stops. So double stops, if you remember, was where we play two notes together on two strings. In the first video I did two adjacent strings, be it the E and the B string, where often we play the same frets on both strings and you get that harmony. And you can sometimes add that or that or that, whatever you want. But that's on adjacent strings. And the other shape we had was like if we had on the B and the G string, we would do something like this, where they're not on the same fret. The finger on the B string is one fret lower than the finger on the G string. You can then go on those two strings also on the same string, on the same fret, sorry. And you can combine this by going with your first finger on the same fret on the G and the B string. Then, without taking your first finger away, put your second finger down above it and the third finger 2 frets above it on the G string. And you got, take it off and you got that. And then you got a famous sort of lick where you slam down those other 2 fingers, so you got a double stop there, a double stop there, and you can hammer them on or pull them off or slide up. So here on the second and third finger you got then we now come on to what I promised you was non-adjacent strings. Now, non-adjacent strings normally will stick to just when there's one string in between. So today we're talking about the E string and the G string. And again, we can do a nice sound where they're on the same fret. But another good shape is where, similar to the other double stop on the G and the B string I just showed you, you have your first finger 1 fret lower than your second finger. So the first finger is on the E string, for instance, in this example on the 5th fret, and the second finger is on this next fret, the 6th fret of the G string. You're missing out the B, open B string, but you don't play it, obviously. You're using normally, well, okay, I normally like to play it with my fingers. It's easier. So you play with your thumb on, say, the G string and your finger, any finger, on the E string. Let me just show you that with the right hand. So my thumb there is on the G string, and any finger, normally this first or second, will be taking care of the top E string. And there you have it. And again, you can change from shape to shape. So this shape with the second finger higher than the first finger, if you want to then change and go up one, you can keep that. Look, notice what I did there. I slid with the second finger held down, take the first finger off, slide that finger up, and then put the third finger there. So you get a nice slide. As I said in the other video, double stops are great for slides, or slides are great for double stops in double stops. So sliding up the same shape from, say, the 7th, the 5th, no, the 7th fret, we got it here, to the 9th. And then back down to that shape. Now I could go through the harmonized major scale with double stops, but I think I might leave that for a separate lesson, because I want to now go on to the B and the D string. So again, we're leaving out a string in between, which is in this case the G string, and we can again play those same shapes. exactly the same, and you could do this. That's also a nice sound. So you've got a 2-fret gap there between the first finger on the B string, in this case on the 5th fret, and the 3rd finger 2 frets higher on the D string 7th fret. You slide the whole shape up, or like before, you can slide that up one and then say put the 2nd finger down like that. So you go. Or the other way around, start there. And then, of course, you can do a combination of the adjacent string, which we did mainly in the video 1, and what we've just done now, the non-adjacent string double stops. So you can go non-adjacent on the B and D strings, adjacent. Both those examples where we're fingering the same fret. But here's an example. You can go from non-adjacent, non-adjacent, and then adjacent. So here's a good idea. Say you start off with a double stop on the adjacent B and G strings, where the first finger is below the 2nd finger, in this case on the 5th and the 6th fret respectively, and you're going, now just put the little first finger, keep it on the same fret but lift it onto the E string, and you got a new shape. Change now here. Notice I'm using different fingers, okay, so it makes it easier to swap. So if you're using the 1st and 2nd finger here on the 5th and the 6th fret, and you want to change to another shape where you're playing the same fret here, you can either do that with the 2 remaining fingers that you've got, the 3rd and 4th finger, then you can slide that up if you want. Or sometimes you might want to do as I showed you before. Slide that finger up. But anyway, you got there material for hundreds of hours of wonderful experimentation and fun and enjoyment. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you can get some ideas from it and make some wonderful music. And hopefully you've liked this video, so in which case like it. If you didn't like it, then just pass it by and go on to something else. If you could also press the subscribe button, that'd be good for both of us, I hope. And also the notification bell telling you when my next videos are coming out. And well, as always, give me lots of money. Thank you very much for listening, watching and learning, and hope to see you all again very soon. Good night.